with Zimbabwe has been warned that corruption will not be tolerated as part of a government crackdown. Now, the Border Management and Immigration Anti-Corruption Forum has launched an awareness campaign featuring convicted offenders sharing their stories. One offender serving 15 years said prison was very painful and advised officials to stop corrupt activities. And for more on this, we are joined on the line by the Border Management Authority spokesperson, Mmemme Mogotsi. Mmemme, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update. Mmemme, can you hear me? All right, so we seem to be having some connection error there, but we will try and get a better connection with Mmemme so he can be audible on our platform. Mmemme, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Great stuff. Thank you for joining us. Now, Mmemme, tell us what brought about the need for the awareness campaign?
Thank you, and good afternoon to the listeners of Channel Africa. The campaign is a campaign that is very important to the government of South Africa. You'd remember that in March this year, we launched the Border Management, Immigration and Anti-Corruption Forum, which is currently chaired by the Special Investigating Unit. So under that forum, there are a variety of activities that needed to be undertaken. And it was important for us to bring together all law enforcement agencies, organizations that impact on the work of border management. So within that forum, we have organizations like the Special Investigating Unit, we have the Department of Home Affairs, we have Border Management Authority, we have private sector, we also have NGOs, civil society that are also assisting us, in terms of information of what could be done to tackle this. So due to that, we realized that the border management environment is a very vulnerable environment where, there could be temptations where people want to cross illegally. We have intercepted a lot of people based on our records. I mean, if you look at since the BMA was established, we have almost just about 500,000 people that we have prevented from getting into the country illegally. So it was important for us to say, let's tighten measures to say if we blocked 500,000, there shouldn't be anyone who is attempting to get into South Africa illegally. And we should not only create an environment where there could be temptation to officials where, a traveler would come with no documents and say can pass through. So it was important for us to aggressively bring in a very strong campaign that's not only about being in various platforms and providing verbal, advocacy. We needed to come with a transformative program that will have impact, that will show how serious we are about this campaign. BMA has zero tolerance of corruption. And since it was established 2 years ago, we want to make that very clear to everyone in South Africa and in the world.
Now, just speaking of effective ways of just telling people or the people that work at the border to basically be careful, because once they are convicted and become offenders, it's a totally different world. You've brought in offenders who are in prison serving certain periods in prison because of the actions they took before. Tell us about this particular campaign.
Absolutely. It was very important to bring the verbal advocacy to real life. So what we did, under the Border Management, Immigration and Anti-Corruption Forum, we requested the Department of Correctional Services, because they're also part of the forum. We said, you know what, let's come and showcase real life testimonies and incidents that people who were involved in corruption were impacted on. So what happened is that we brought in inmates. They came, they gave painful testimonies. They used to be in the environment. They committed those acts, but now they're behind bars. So we have to send a very strong message to say this is what will ultimately happen to colleagues who continue to engage in these activities. You'd understand that the border management environment comprises of various organizations. We have the BMA that is in the space as the coordinating body. We have the South African Police Service. We have the South African National Defence Force. We have South African Revenue Services. We have all other travel agents that are facilitating to assist with movement of goods that come through the trucks and that operate in that space. So we had to bring all of them together to say, this is the message.
Now,
this is the message. Listen from the horse's mouth.
Now, Beitbridge is a key entry point in the continent. What makes it so vulnerable as a port?
Beitbridge is the leading land port of entry in terms of movement. It does not only facilitate Zimbabwe because it's a border between South Africa and Zimbabwe. It caters for nationalities from Malawi, from Uganda, from DRC, from all over who come through that area. So it is a big port of entry. It's one of the biggest in terms of size. It's one of the biggest in terms of trade, in terms of facilitating goods. It is one of the leading in terms of people. So due to the makeup and I believe people that come through that port, we had to start there. In terms of our data, most of our interceptions are done in that area, but we are not limiting it to Beitbridge.
Okay.
We are going to roll out this activation in all the other ports so that all officials in that port environment are able to receive testimonies and believe it and see. Because the inmates came in their clothing, the correctional services clothes. So it demonstrates that these colleagues, are regretting at the moment. That's what they were saying as well.
Now, very quickly,
they used to have cars, they used to have homes.
Yes. Very quickly, just in wrapping up, are you able to give us an update of the number of investigations and convictions related to corruption there at the border management?
In terms of our consolidated numbers, you'd understand that Home Affairs would have its own interceptions in terms of corruption activities. And recently the minister had announced that there were about more than 50 people that were dismissed at once. So you can see how serious that is. Ever since BMA came into the space, which was 2 years ago, we are tracking also our high numbers in terms of dismissals. Just around 10 in the last financial year, we recorded 6 dismissals. Just in the last financial year, from April to April to April this year. So I would like to also indicate that there are a number of investigations that are taking place. And what's our toll-free number that we launched last year, Operation Hit TV? We publicized our number and immediately it ignited travelers to give us information in terms of some of the activities that they are witnessing. So we will be providing a quarterly report in the coming days to provide a consolidated number to say this is what the BMA has been able to achieve. But the investigations at this point, both criminally and in the labor aspect, internally in the organization, I am telling you, they are massive. So we are continuing with that. We are emphasizing our zero tolerance approach, and we are not apologetic about it.
Mmemme, it's been a pleasure. We'll leave it there for today.
Thank you for having me.
That's Border Management Authority spokesperson Mmemme Mogotsi joining us on the line.